Marta, muscle development is not a continuous process. First, fiber is developing and then it's increasing somehow. What happens if malnutrition hits a very young infant, or when malnutrition happens during later infancy or in the toddler age? From your animal models, can you tell us what happens?
As you said, there are critical windows, and so in terms of predicting, and from the animal models, what we think happens really depends at what stage you're at. So if you're during the phase where the muscle fibers are hypertrophying through the addition of myonuclei, and this has to occur early, soon after differentiation, then if you have a period of malnutrition, it seems to block the ability to recruit new myonuclei. And if refeeding does not occur within that period where the muscle still has the capacity to acquire new nuclei, it will not recover, because the number of nuclei that are there will determine the maximum size that that fiber can attain. If the malnutrition occurs after that fiber has attained its full complement of nuclei, then yes, it can stop growing for a while, or it can even diminish in size. But the protein synthetic machinery is able to restore the protein content, so you will get catch-up growth. So I think there's a critical time window which affects whether the muscle is able to acquire its full complement of myonuclei or not.
So if the infant is hit at an early phase, it's more critical.
It's more critical that it's refed promptly before it matures, because the pattern of maturation seems to be sort of set independently. It's a tempo of life that just goes on regardless.
Can we conclude one-to-one from animal models to infants?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. What exactly do you mean one-to-one?
If you're studying these type of things in rat or piglet models, right, can we conclude to infants at corresponding ages?
I think we can look at milestones in muscle development, and we can draw parallels of where particular milestones occur at what developmental age in animals and humans. Because I think the pattern of muscle development is very similar across mammals. It's just the relationship between developmental age and chronological age. So for example, in the rodents are born from the muscle perspective at about the beginning of the third trimester of pregnancy in humans. Pigs are born more developed than humans, because pig and sheep, they can run around as soon as they're born. So they're a little bit more advanced. Weaning represents, as far as I'm concerned, from a physiological perspective, an animal, and really if you think about humans going back, it's when that organism can live independent of can move and feed independent of its caretakers. And that's the physiological, biological time of weaning. And that in the human would be 2, 3, that they can walk, they can feed themselves, in maybe 1, 2. In rodents, it's about 21 days of age. In pigs, it's about 24, 25 days of age. We have to keep these relationship between development and chronological age very clear when we're drawing the parallels here.
Okay. Muscle growth during the fetal and postnatal life is somehow different. Now, if you have a period of malnutrition during the early postnatal phase or in the second or third year of life, what is worse in terms of long-term outcome?
The worst is the early one, because the early one will it'd be unlikely that it can recover its muscle mass, especially if the period of undernutrition is prolonged. By the time the muscle of 3 or 4, the muscle, it'll be more developed, and it will be able to recover at that point.